Here is my rational function. So I chose x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x squared minus 9. So first off, we would want to factor this, make it a lot easier for everything. So right away, difference of squares on bottom, simple on top. So you get x plus 2, x plus 3, on the bottom x plus 3, x minus 3. Well, with that, plus 3, cancel those out, you get x plus 2, x minus 3. Also, with those two canceling out, we know one of our holes where x is minus 3, and when we punch minus 3 into either this form or this one, we get 1 over 6 as the y. And if we move forward, now from that we can find what the vertical and horizontal asymptotes are, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Now we can find these either from the original equation or simplified one. Easier to make it simplified. So we know that the vertical asymptotes are whatever's at the bottom. Now if we use the earlier example one, well, it would be plus 3 minus 3. Well, problem is one of them is a hole, so that doesn't work out. That doesn't exist anymore in this instance. So it's just plus 3. Horizontal asymptote is what we do when we divide everything on top and bottom by the highest value of the variable. This one just being a singular x. So x plus 2 over x minus 3, and divide each individual thing by x. Well, by doing that, you get x divided by x on top plus 2x plus 2 divided by x, divided all that by x divided by x, minus 3 divided by x. Then we want to turn x to infinity, effectively infinity 0, and then from that, anything that does not perfectly turn down into divide properly, well, it just turns into 0. So then we're left with x over x, which is 1. X-intercepts, that's what is on the top, and the top would be minus 2. Now originally there was the plus 3, which then becomes minus 3, but that's a hole, that is impossible. Y-intercept is when all x's are 0 and then turn out how it is. So 2 over negative 3, negative 2 over 3. Now, we got those good things, but we got to figure out how exactly this graph will function. Where will things move? So we know our vertical asymptote is at 3. Well, if we punch that into the original equation, or the simplified one again, we get that it's very negative. We don't need to know a value really all that much, just that it's very negative. Then we punch in the 3.01, which is on the now right side of the vertical asymptote, and it's very positive. Perfect. So if we then look at the little thing here, we know that this arrow goes down here on the left hand side, and on the right hand side of the vertical asymptote it goes up, positive. Now we want to find some more points, because with this earlier equation we know what the hole is, so we punch that in, and there's the x and the y intercepts. So really from that we got enough to draw in what that is. Now for the other one though, ignore these points for now, we don't know anything. We just know that it goes up that way and goes right that way. Well, let's find some points. When x is 4, by punching that in, we know it comes out as 6, so we can punch that in. When 5 is x, we know that then y will be 3.5. And when x is 6, we know it will be 8 over 3. Now, we know now this works because it works in correlation of it going down in a slope from starting at the top. So just like that, we would draw in what that graph is. And then from that, we now know how to graph our original rational equation, x squared plus 5x plus 6 divided by x squared minus 9, and turn it into a graph, finding all the key components.